Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the SoCal Sports Dudes podcast. Jason Wynn here. Today, I want to come at you guys with the Lakers report. It's been a little while since I've come at you guys with a video, but yeah, Lakers have been looking good, man, ever since they made that trade. Or the trades at the trade deadline, they're getting D'Lo, Vanderbilt, and Beasley, and of course Mo Bamba, who of course is since injured. But yeah, so they've won 4 of their last 5. 7 of their last 10, 9 of their last 13. So they've kind of climbed the standings. They currently are in a 3-way tie. This is as of March 15th. So they have a game tonight at Houston, which might change exactly where they're at in the standings. But they're in a 3-way tie. The 8, 9, 10 seeds. Both Utah and New Orleans are 1 game behind. So a little bit of a logjam there. I think that's going to clear up as we get closer to the end of the season. We'll see, some of these teams can continue the momentum, and the Lakers definitely have some good momentum right now heading into the stretch run here. Because there's only 13 games remaining, so season's going to be winding up here soon. Hopefully they can, as I mentioned a while back, climb the standings and get away from this play-in game thing and try to lock up like a six seed. So then that way you're not stuck having to worry about doing a play-in game to even get into the playoffs. You lock in a spot there and assure yourself a playoff position there. As I said, tonight they're going to be playing at Houston. They'll come home to play 5 straight games against Dallas, Orlando, Phoenix, OKC, and Chicago. Then they go on the road for 5 games. Chicago, at Minnesota, at Houston, at Utah, at the Clippers, which is a road game, even though it's right here in LA. And then final 2 games will be at home versus Phoenix and versus Utah. So some winnable games, I'd say, in there. Of course, you can't take any of these teams for granted. A few of these teams are also battling for playoff spots, playoff seeds. So yeah, it's going to be fun here to kind of watch this final stretch here. As you know, LeBron's been out for a little while. He, of course, hurt the foot there in the Dallas game. He's been out since March 2nd, so was to be reevaluated in 3 weeks, I think, when they first said it. But I think the other day, man, it looked like when D'Lo hit those shots, they did the little handshake there on the sideline. So LeBron looked like he's kind of moving around a little bit better. Hopefully that foot's improving. The scheduled return date is either late March or early April, which, of course, you have, let's see here, 5 games in April. So maybe get it back in there for a couple of tune-up games before, and hopefully we're in the playoff spot or position by then that we can, LeBron could get in and jump in there and help us continue the role we're on. Mo Bamba, unfortunately, he had a high ankle sprain, so out at least 4 weeks. He injured that back on the 9th of March. Can he be back for the playoffs, though? I mean, 1 month puts us back right about at where the end of the season is. High ankle sprains could be kind of a tricky thing, but yeah, Mo Bamba, unfortunately, hasn't been able to get out there on the court lately. I wonder, man, if I don't know if you guys want to chime in as well. Maybe, what do you think? I think I wouldn't mind getting another big man. There's like Serge Ibaka, Hassan Whiteside. I don't know if Nerlens Noel was bought out, but guys like that. Big man from the Knicks that they acquired from the Clippers. I forget the name, but Moses Brown, right? So maybe one of those guys, are they a good fit to add to the depth? Because what happens if AD twists an ankle or does something? I mean, the big man depth right now with Bamba being out is Wenyen Gabriel. And it's just like, I don't know if I could depend on him, for heavy minutes, especially we're going to get closer to the playoffs. That roster, the lineup there is going to, the rotation is going to tighten. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing especially a Serge Ibaka. He's, familiar probably with Ham from Milwaukee, plug and play a little bit in limited minutes. You know what I mean? He could at least give you a guy who can, at least worst case scenario, give you 6 fouls off the bench. But, a guy who has some experience, maybe when we come into the playoffs and we have to guard a guy like a Jokic in the post or something, and throw, Serge out there, man. He could, hit the occasional 3. Used to be a good shot blocker. So maybe in limited minutes, he might be someone who comes in handy. What about Dwight Howard, man? Bring him back. I don't know if it's too late to add him and still be able to include him on the playoff roster, but a guy that I would have liked, even when we were starting the season, just to have his depth. I know he doesn't fit the new, prototype of this, how current centers are in the NBA with, them having to stretch the floor and hit threes. But yeah, man, you did the interior play and paint and and an extra big body that we would, I think, come in handy right now. So, but yeah, man, but definitely new vibes, new energy since the trades. I mean, D'Lo with his playmaking, hitting threes, bringing like a new era of confidence there to the team. He's blended in really nicely. We got Vando, great, playing some great defense, giving us a lot of energy. Oftentimes it's nice we can assign him to the other team's top scorer, and he can make it, problematic for them. Beasley, he came alive, especially yesterday against New Orleans, hit 7 threes in the first half. So probably nice to have a shooter out there that can, stretch the floor and maybe take some pressure off of some of the, sprays out the floor a little bit better there. So, of course, AD's being AD. I attended that Knicks game. Unfortunately, they kind of laid an egg in that one. It's annoying. Couldn't make a three, and then they missed a couple key free throws, a couple of bonehead turnovers. Weren't grabbing any offensive rebounds when you need it. So that they kind of just stepped on their own. When they lost that game there. But that I thought was a game without Brunson being there that the Lakers should have won in there. Taken that game against the Knicks. Of course, the Knicks were feisty. They had it looked like a pretty good game plan with Thibodeau, how to D up AD, who didn't have it going really offensively. D'Lo carried us, but unfortunately we came up short in that one. But nonetheless, AD's been bounces back. Of course, last night with a great game against New Orleans. It was nice to see Beasley, who didn't really do much against the Knicks in that home game, come back and come alive there, hitting some threes for us. And then, of course, Reeves, Dennis Schroeder, Rui have all been really solid. It's kind of fun to see, a nice contributions from many different places now. The roster just looks a lot better, night and day, compared to when we had, Russell and JTA and D Jones. T Bryant is a guy I miss, but hey, he insists on being traded, would come in handy right now. But hey, it's looks like the team is playing good. I think we as Laker fans can be encouraged by what we're seeing for sure, and hopefully they just continue to keep this up, get some of their guys back healthy, and the guys that are in there now continue to stay healthy, and then we could be in good shape come playoff time here, which is just around the corner. So I just want to come at you guys with a quick Laker report. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you again in the next one. I'll come back with some fresh content for you. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.